Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Environmental Issues, and today in this video we will cover part 4. Let's begin with the first question, which was asked in the year 1999. Maximum bioconcentration of pesticide residues is usually found in birds that exclusively feed on dash. Okay, we are talking about bioconcentration of pesticide residues here. Okay, biological magnification or bioamplification or biomagnification is the increase in the concentration of persistent pollutant per unit weight of the organism with a rise in trophic level. So birds predominantly feed on fishes, worms, meat, seeds. All that is meat, forget it, but fish, worm, seeds are supposed to be their predominant consumption. But here, maximum bioconcentration of pesticide residues, when the birds happen to exclusively feed on fishes, they happen to have this problem. Okay, therefore the right answer to this question is option A, fishes. Next question here, which of the following organism is likely to have more concentration of DDT in its body? Okay, now you have herbivorous, carnivorous, top carnivorous and primary producers. Organisms that are found in higher trophic levels show greater accumulation of pesticides due to the phenomenon of biomagnification, which is defined as a gradual increase in the concentration of harmful pesticides in the food chain with the increase in trophic level. What is the full form I've told about DDT? Dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. So that is a full form of DDT. So it's a harmful pesticide that we use. Sometimes it might cause even problems when we ingest them. Okay, so here if you see which of the following organism is likely to have more concentration of DDT is a higher organism level. So it's neither herbivorous or carnivorous, it is a top carnivorous, that is a higher level of the trophic level. Okay, therefore the right answer to this question is option C. Next question here, DDT is dash. What is DDT? I've already explained about it a lot. What is DDT? What is the use of the DDT? See, DDT is a tasteless, what is it? It's a tasteless, colorless, odorless, crystalline substance which is famous for its insecticidal property. It is poisonous for both humans and animals. It is commonly used as pesticide for insect control in United States until it was cancelled in the year 1972 by United States Environmental Protection Agency. Why are we using a DDT? It is initially used by the military in the World War II to control malaria, typhus and other pests. Okay, why now you have a question, why is it banned? One of the few they have banned this DDT is because of the concerns about the harm that they cause to the environment, as well as when it became a threat to the human health as well. There is also evidence linking that DDT with severe declines in the blood eagle population due to the thinning of eggshells. Okay, and DDT, if you see, is a non-degradable pollutant. It is not degradable. The main threat or the main thing to be noted here is DDT is a non-degradable pollutant and it cannot be broken down or converted into a harmless state. That is why the EPA has banned the use of DDT. The right answer to this question is option A. Next question here, gas released during Bhopal tragedy was dash. I think all of you know what the answer is. This question was asked in the year 1999. If you clearly watched the part 3, now you'll be able to answer. Yes, the right answer is MIC, which stands for methyl isocyanate, was the deadly gas leaked from the fertilizer plant of the Union Carbide Company of Bhopal. Okay, yeah. Next question here, sudden mass killing of fishes is likely in dash. So let's analyze the options here, mesotrophic, oligotrophic, salt and eupotrophic lake. So what happens? What do you mean by mesotrophic lake? See, Whenever there is pollution in the lake, what happens there? There is a demand for oxygen. What does this lead to then? Death of aquatic organisms. So I've given you the clue now. See, when the pollutant released into the lake is more, the microorganisms use up all the dissolved oxygen for the decomposition process, and no dissolved oxygen is left for the rest of the organisms that are surviving under the lake. So this is the main idea here. So sudden mass killing of fishes is likely in a eutrophic lake, that is eutrophication. Organic pollution provide nutrients for stimulating the growth of algae and other plants. You must have seen the lakes with algal bloom and the growth of other plants as well. The dead submerged plants consume more oxygen for decomposition, and this will reduce the ability of oxygen in reaching the aquatic organisms, thereby leading to the suffocation and thereby death of the aquatic organisms. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option D. Next question here. Warm ocean surge of the Peru current recurring every 5 to 8 years or so in the East Pacific of South America is widely known as dash. So this is a direct question. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. It is called as El Nino. Okay, it flows to the north from the Antarctica along the west coast of South America. So you have the answer here, so you don't have to get confused. So this flows from where? It flows from north, from Antarctica along the west of South America to the south equator, the west. It reoccurs after 5 to 8 hours. Main thing to be noted here. And you have El Nino and La Nina are officially defined as sustained sea surface temperatures anomalies of magnitude greater than 0.5 degrees Celsius. And this is across the tropical Pacific Ocean. So when the condition is met for a period of less than 5 months, it is classified as El Nino, or the other name is La Nina, and the condition is termed in such a way. So if the anomaly persists for 5 months or longer, it is classified as option B, El Nino, which this question was asked in the year 1998. Don't get confused, just understand what they are asking here. If the recurrence is 5 to 8 years and it is towards the East Pacific of South America, it is called as El Nino or La Nina, which is option B. Next question here. Which one of the following organism is used as a indicator of the water quality? I think we already discussed about this question. This is a repeated question here. So we have 4 options here: Chlorella, Azospirillum, Escherichia and Bigota. The answer is Escherichia, because we all know Escherichia is present in the human intestine, and at the same time it will be used in the decomposition process of sewage waste and all that, right? Sewage waste and all that. So what happens when you test the water for quality control? You find Escherichia there, then means the water is contaminated with sewage and other domestic waste, and the water is polluted. Therefore, the answer to this question is Escherichia. Escherichia belongs to the coliform, and the test that you perform to control, to do a quality control is coliform test, and this is basically a gram-negative bacteria which is rod-shaped. Okay. Next question here. Phosphate pollution is caused by dash. Okay. Even this we have discussed in the earlier parts. See, phosphate is predominantly used in fertilizers. Okay, the main contribution of phosphate in the environment is only through fertilizers. Part of the fertilizers which contains phosphate are passed away into the water bodies as a surface run. And also you get contamination of water from the sewage which comes out from the agricultural part and other sources. They all, when enter into the water body, of course they actually pollute the water as well. So phosphate pollution, if you see, it is majorly caused because of the sewage and the agricultural fertilizers. You have nothing to do with phosphate rocks and all, but the major contribution is from sewage and agricultural fertilizers. Sometimes these deposition which go into the lake can actually lead again to a new system of pollution which is called as eutrophication. So the phosphate also causes a main threat to the aquatic organisms and leads to eutrophication, where the organisms cannot survive because the biological or the biochemical oxygen demand will increase as the sewage waste or these agricultural waste accumulate in water. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option D. Next question here. Sewage drained into water bodies kill fishes because dash. Analyze the statements here. Excessive carbon dioxide is added to water. Wrong. It gives off bad smell. Wrong. It removes the food eaten by the fish. Wrong. It increases the competition with fishes for the dissolved oxygen. The last option is right answer, because this is a question that we've already discussed about it a lot. So we always talk about this. If the water seems to be polluted, it means there is growth of microorganisms, right? You have growth of microbes, and these microbes in turn will start taking or using up the oxygen that is already dissolved in the water for their processes. Okay, so what happens is there is a competition between the microbes and the fishes. Not just fishes, the aquatic organisms. So who wins here is the microbes, because you're on the top surface and they have predominant access to the oxygen and they start using it, and the ones that are surviving in the water underneath will not have oxygen to survive, and they thereby only lead to death. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option D. Next question here. When huge amount of sewage is dumped into the river, the BOD will, very easy question. With more amount of sewage added into the water, what will happen? The demand for oxygen will only increase. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option A. The number of microbes also increase tremendously, and these also consume most of the oxygen. Therefore, the BOD of the water will increase if the sewage added in the water also increases. Okay, next question here. In Minamata Bay, Japan, the animals which remain free from Minamata disease are dash. So, see, release of mercury in water causes pollution. Mercury, when enters into the food chain, killing fishes. Human beings feeds on such fishes will suffer Minamata diseases. Similarly, all carnivores feeding on these fishes started to exhibit this kind of Minamata disease. So who survived at that time was only rabbits, because they were herbivorous at that time and did not consume any fishes. So this disease, if you see, is because of the mercury. Okay, mercury, when it is mixed in water, it gets mixed with the fishes as well. So when you happen to eat those fishes, all the carnivores got affected. At that particular time, the rabbits were left alive. They did not have the disease. It's only because they were herbivorous. They do not eat anything from fishes. Therefore, they did not get this disease. Okay, this disease was very commonly spoke disease one, because lot of people suffered because of this disease. Not just humans, even animals had this problem. So it was some time way back a talk of a town. Okay, next question here. Okay, look at this question here, which was asked in the year 1994. Highest DDT deposition shall occur in dash. So where will it be seen here? See, we all know DDT is liposoluble. It's a non-degradable pesticide or insecticide. It's not soluble in water, but it is soluble in fats. Aquatic microorganisms absorb them in the form of fats, which then accumulate to form concentration many times greater than that of water. Zooplankton accumulate more concentration. Fishes feeding on the zooplanktons will also accumulate this concentration in their body. So, when finally these fishes are fed by birds, okay, when they are intaken by the birds will also get this accumulation in their body. So everywhere, if you see, it's a food chain. The water getting affected, the fishes eating it. I mean, before fishes, you have zooplanktons. Okay. See, the main reason here is it is soluble in lipids, not in water. So it is more easy for them to get dissolved in the body. So first, when it dissolved in water, it is consumed by the zooplanktons. It gets dissolved in their body, again by the fishes, then moves on to the birds. So the highest DDT deposition shall occur in seagulls or birds, because the cycle goes in such a way. It starts from water, moves on to zooplanktons and fishes, then birds, because fishes are the main food for birds, especially seagulls, those who feed on fishes. Okay, so this is the main threat here actually. This increase in accumulation of toxic substance in their food pyramids is actually called or termed as biomagnification or bioamplification. The right answer to this question is option B. Next question here. Disease caused by eating fish found in water contaminated with industrial waste having mercury is dash. Just now we discussed about it in the just before we saw. We were given 4 options where I spoke about rabbit was the only one during the time where Japan was infected with Minamata disease, where mercury will be released into the water surface, and when you eat the fishes which have the dissolved toxic substance in their body, not just humans, it's anything who eats the fishes will get the Minamata disease. So this is again related with that. The answer to this question is option A, Minamata disease. So if you want to know something more about this, the Minamata disease is that, see, sometimes it is referred to as Chisko-Minamata disease, is a neurological syndrome caused by severe mercury poisoning, and symptoms include ataxia, then you have numbness, and general muscle weakness, narrowing of the field of vision, damage of hearing and speech. So these are the symptoms of the disease. It's a little threat actually, and this is because of the mercury poisoning, and that is actually a food chain again. Water is infected, fishes, and then it moves into the cycle where you have the rest of the animals or humans, whoever consume it, will automatically get the disease called Minamata disease. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option A. Next question here. Drawback of DDT as a pesticide is dash. This question was asked in the year 1994. Let's analyze the statements here. It becomes ineffective after some time. Wrong. It is less effective than others. Wrong. It is not easily or rapidly degraded in nature. That is the main disadvantage. As we already saw, it is a non-degradable substance. Okay, it cannot be converted into a simple or a harmless state by the microbes, and hence it is not eco-friendly. And once it starts accumulating in the environment, it becomes a threat to the environment. It naturally becomes a collapse system in the overall environment or the ecosystem cycle. So the main drawback of DDT as a pesticide is that it is not easily or rapidly degraded in nature. The right answer is option C. DDT is a persistent organic pollutant which is reported half-life of about 2 to 15 years, and it is immobile in moist soils. So see how much time, or how even after that, if you see they are left as such in the environment, they are not going to be degraded actually, but the half-life is about 2 to 15 years. Okay, next question here. Fish die in water bodies polluted by sewage is due to dash. So this is again a repeated form of question. We already spoke about what is BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. Okay, so imagine when the water is polluted with sewage, not just sewage, it can be any other plants or weeds or any algal bloom or anything which grows on the water will have a competition. So what happens is that the oxygen will be competed between the microbes, the plants, and the aquatic system. So finally, who wins? If you see the microbes and the plants, because they are already on the surface, the top surface of the water, so it will be easy for them to take in the dissolved oxygen which is there in the water. So what happens here is the most affected part is the aquatic organisms. They will not be able to get the dissolved oxygen which is there on the top layer. Sometimes the plants or the microbes, they cover the surface of the water, thereby becoming a block. The sun rays or the oxygen will not penetrate into the water surface and reach them. So fish die in water bodies polluted by sewage is mainly due to the reduction in oxygen content. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option C. With this, we complete the part 4 of this chapter. Hope to meet you in the next part of the same chapter. Thank you.